Good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, so we will start. We will continue our discussion. So last lecture we have written these points. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us start discussing these things. Just maintain your concentration level so that we can get these things easily. So unit number 4 is relativistic mechanics, means it is related to theory of relativity. In this chapter, if you see carefully, introduction part is there, then two postulates we have to see. Afterwards, there are 4 derivations. First is Lorentz transformation equation for space and time coordinates. Then length contraction equation and time dilation equation. So that derivation part is there. And the last one is equivalence of mass and energy. Means E is equal to mc square relation, that I hope that everyone knows that. So this Einstein fellow put this theory of relativity. Why? Because when we are considering the classical mechanics or Newtonian mechanics, that is Newton's laws of motion, which comes under that, there are some limitations to explain the things which are moving with very high speed or velocity closer and closer to velocity of light. So during that, there are some limitations to the derivations or mathematics. So this theory of relativity gets developed. Actually, there are 2 types. One is special theory of relativity, and second is general theory of relativity. So what is the difference? Special theory of relativity is related to the motion of that object or frame, and general theory of relativity is related to the gravitational field. So in our case, we are concentrating on special theory of relativity. So we are starting with some introduction postulates and then these derivations. So let us consider some example so that you can get the idea that what is meant by relativity. So what is the meaning of word relative? When we are considering they are relative to each other. मराठीत तुम्ही म्हणाल नातेवाईक, बरोबर आहे का?
No, sir.
संबंधित.
संबंधित. ठीक आहे. तर आपण आता मराठीत सुद्धा जे नातेवाईक आहेत त्यांना आपण इंग्रजीमध्ये काय म्हणतो?
Relatives.
रिलेटिव्ह. ठीक आहे. संबंधित हाच प्रॉपर वर्ड आहे, पण आपण त्याला नातेवाईक काय म्हणतो तर का, तर तुम्हाला चांगल्या पद्धतीने कळेल की आपण एकमेकाला गोष्टी रिलेट करतो आणि त्याच्यानुसारच गोष्टी आपण डिफाइन करतो किंवा लक्षात ठेवतो. सो लेट अस टेक some terms. First is length, then second is position, then third is motion, and last one is time. So first is length. So we are discussing the introductory part of this chapter. Of course, we have to see all the details mathematically when we are discussing this during that chapter. So we are discussing which point, how things are relative to each other. एकमेकांशी संबंधित किंवा relate कसं करतात. So length is a relative. Okay. How? So if we consider a chalk and a duster, for example, this is duster and this is chalk. So my question is, whose length is more? If this is duster and if this is chalk. Okay. Duster. Counter question is relative to
Chalk.
Relative to chalk.
Is it correct? Means there are 2 things. If I only ask you if this is a chalk and if I only ask you whose length is more, so your counter question is, sir, relative to what? Is it correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So when we are considering the things, when we are relating the things, so there are 2 things are there. Only single thing we cannot relate to each other. In the same manner, in our world, day-to-day life, we are relating the things, and then after that we come to the conclusion. Maybe everyone knows one famous story of Akbar and Birbal, drawing the line, and without touching, you have to shorten it.
Yes.
Getting the things. So maybe Akbar and Birbal knows theory of relativity. So that simple story is there, which we can relate to our discussion. So this is length, that is how length is relative we are discussing. म्हणजे काय तर दोन वस्तू आपण कंपेअर करतो आणि त्याच्यानुसार ठरवतो की लेंथ जी आहे कमी जास्त कुठली. नेक्स्ट इज पोझिशन. सो फॉर एक्झाम्पल, इफ classroom is there and students are sitting at different places, if staff is on this side, this is a faculty and is delivering the lecture, he or she, I think you consider, and if that staff member asks this fellow that what is my position, consider this as ABC. So B student answer is, sir, you are in front of me. Is it right?
Yes.
The answer for A student is, sir, you are on my left hand side, from his or her perspective. If for this student answer is, sir, you are on my right hand side, means that fellow is standing here only, but positions or answer of positions gets changed. Getting these things?
Yes, sir.
ठीक आहे.
Yes,
म्हणजे
yes, sir.
ती व्यक्ती तिथेच उभारली आणि समोरचा विद्यार्थी काय म्हणणार, सर तुम्ही माझ्या समोर आहेत. त्यानंतर या साईडचा म्हणणार तुम्ही माझ्या डाव्या बाजूला आहेत, या साईडचा म्हणणार तुम्ही माझ्या उजव्या बाजूला आहेत. तर पोझिशन जी आहे तर ती रिलेटिव्ह आहे, तर ती चेंज होत जाते. देन नेक्स्ट वन, दॅट इज मोशन. हाऊ मोशन इज रिलेटिव्ह. So consider a bus stop and one person is waiting for bus. Okay, so I'm drawing the things at my level best. So please consider this. Okay, now consider a car with a certain speed. Some time to justify this. If that car is moving with 50 km per hour speed, so according to this person, this car is moving with 50 km per hour. Now consider another car. Now I am just showing the symbol, and that car is moving with 30 km per hour. Then my question is, according to this person in second car, what is the speed of first one?
20 kilometer.
Yes, 20 km per hour. 50 minus 30 we are considering. It is correct. Now consider another car which is moving with the same speed but in opposite direction. So according to now this person, what is the speed of this car?
0.
0.
0, is it correct?
Same.
Is it 50 minus 50 or 50 plus 50?
Or as it is 50.
Minus
50 minus 50 or 50 plus 50? तुम्हाला तुमची गाडी जी आहे समोरून येणारी ती तुम्हाला 0 म्हणजे रेस्ट मध्ये दिसते का न दिसतात जाते?
100, sir.
Yes. We have to add this. That is 50 plus 50. Okay. So we are discussing according to all these persons. Now who is remaining? The person who is sitting in the car. Now according to the person sitting in the car, can you guess what is she or she is feeling speed?
Same as the speed of car.
Okay. So if you sit in aeroplane, so you can feel that in bus and railway. I cannot give example because our roadways and some vibrations gives us experience of the speed. Okay. Any guess? He or she feels that speed, or he or she feels stationary?
Stationary.
Resting.
Okay, now I will give live example. तुम्ही सगळे ज्या ठिकाणी बसले आहात, including me, you can experience that. Now my question is, are you in moving state or a stationary state? Everyone?
Relative to what, sir? Earth or
No. Stationary frame of reference you can consider as a earth, but
yes.
are you feeling right now, are you feeling stationary?
Yes,
And
sir.
is it reality, or actually you are moving but feeling stationary?
Actually, we are moving but feel stationary.
Getting the things. So same thing is there when we are moving with the constant speed in that frame of reference, but we cannot judge the things. That's why we consider as stationary. Getting the things?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this thing we are discussing regarding the motion, how motion is relative. तर इथं बघितलं तर आपण वेगवेगळे एक्झाम्पल घेतले, त्याच्यावरून आपल्या लक्षात येतं की मोशन ही सुद्धा रिलेटिव्ह आहे. किंवा तुम्ही मे बी एक्सपिरियन्स केला असेल, दोन बस समोरासमोर आहेत किंवा दोन ट्रेन समोरासमोर आहेत, तुम्ही एकामध्ये बसलेला आहात आणि आपल्याला जर स्टार्ट झाली शेजारची जरी, तर कधी कधी असं फील होतं की आपली चालू झाली किंवा पुढे चालली. मे बी यू हॅव एक्सपिरियन्स्ड दॅट. ओके, so we cannot judge the things. Afterwards we can understand that actually another bus or train is moving or ours. So these things are examples related to motion. Now what is remaining? Time. So this time is also a relative thing. How? So what is exact time right now? 3:30 p.m. for example, if you consider plus minus here and there, you consider. So is it correct that the same time is there in UK, USA right now?
No, sir.
No.
Okay. So we are discussing how time is relative. आता टाइम म्हणजे कसं डिफाइन केलंय आपण, तर इट इज नथिंग बट मोशन ऑफ द अर्थ अराउंड द सन and rotation around the earth, around itself. So if we consider that particular things, that is we are defining time in terms of motion. आपण त्याला डिफाइन केलं in terms of hours, minutes and seconds, and then we have set one standard time. You know that it is called as universal time. So that is a Greenwich Mean Time. It is also called as GMT. So one position on the earth we have set at 00, and afterwards we are adding the hours to consider the things. So when we are considering IST, that is Indian Standard Time, so all these things, you know, it is UT plus 5:30. Getting this?
Yes, sir.
So this is our Indian Standard Time. According to that, we are relating the things and then we are defining the time scale. So everyone is here and there in Solapur district or Maharashtra. So we are in close timeline, few minutes or few seconds here and there. So if we consider these things, so we are defining the time, and this time is relative to the motion around the sun and motion of the earth. If we consider, for example, we are online, but consider we are in one classroom, and if we shift that whole classroom to another galaxy and we don't have clock or watches, then how we can define the time? जर आपण सगळे एकाच क्लासरूम मध्ये आहोत, तो क्लासरूमच शिफ्ट केला अनदर गॅलेक्सीला आणि आपल्याकडे क्लॉक्स वॉचेस काहीच नाहीये, तर आपण टाइम कसा डिफाइन करणार? तर तिथली जी कंडिशन आहे म्हणजे काय, तिथला स्टार असेल, तिथली मोशन असेल, ते आपल्याला कन्सिडर करावे लागेल आणि त्यानुसार आपल्याला तिथे टाइम डिफाइन करून मग तो स्टार्ट होणार. गेटिंग दिस?
Yes, sir.
आता आपण काय लिहितो की 2021. ठीक आहे, आज किती 21च आहे का? ठीक आहे, 21/12/21 जर आपण बघितलं, so is it true that only 2021 years passed only?
No, sir.
Okay, so there are 5 billion years passed according to some theories, but we are defining this according to Christian calendar. Okay, so we have decided how to define the time, and then we are considering that as a time. So actually time is nothing but motion in space. Now why we are discussing these things? Because we have to connect all these mathematical terms, derivation in terms of our understanding. जर आपल्याला हे कन्सेप्ट चांगल्या पद्धतीने लक्षात आले तर मॅथमॅटिकल जे डेरिव्हेशन्स आहेत तर ते काय चालू आहे आणि त्या टर्म्स आहेत त्याचं एक्झॅक्ट मिनिंग काय ते आपल्याला लक्षात येईल. त्याच्यासाठी डिस्कस केलं. सो ड्युरिंग आवर chapter discussion, once again we repeat all these points so that you can understand it in better manner. So this is introduction. Then we have to define the postulates. So everyone knows stationary frame of reference and non-stationary frame of reference. Okay, have you studied this?
No, sir.
Accelerated frame of reference and non-accelerated frame of reference
No, sir.
in 11th or 12th. Okay, so it is simple one. If the thing is at rest or moving with the same velocity, then it is considered as stationary. And if we consider the motion with change in velocity, then it is a non-stationary. And it is also called as accelerated frame of reference and non-accelerated frame of reference. Okay, so we can consider that as another word in terms of a inertial frame of reference and non-inertial frame of reference. Okay, so that we have to start with. Then we have to consider the postulates. Then Lorentz transformation equations, हे आपल्याला डेरिव्हेशन बघायचे. त्याचाच बेस पकडून आपण लेंथ कॉन्ट्रॅक्शन आणि टाइम डायलेशन इक्वेशन बघणार आहोत आणि त्यानंतर इक्विव्हॅलन्स ऑफ मास अँड एनर्जी डेरिव्हेशन. So here are some examples. So I am not going in the details right now. Just you can see two frame of references, S and S dash, where S dash is moving with velocity v as compared to S. So here we are comparing and then we are defining. So when we are defining the space coordinates, then we are defining x dash in terms of x and x in terms of x dash, then y dash in terms of y, z dash in terms of z, and what is remaining time coordinates, that is t and t dash, that also we have to define. So all these things are in mathematical derivations. And Lorentz transformation equation we are getting. Then we have to check length contraction equation, how length gets contracted as we are moving with higher speed, that is going closer and closer to velocity of light. Then time dilation. In time dilation also we have to check these frame of references, and when any space shuttle or any satellite is moving with the greater speed, which is closer to velocity of light, then what happens to the time, what we have defined right now. And time dilation means time interval, how it gets lengthened, that we have to consider. So all these things we will discuss in our chapter discussion. And last derivation is E is equal to mc square. So it is also the fruit or output of this theory of relativity that we have to see in the detail. Now we move to the section second. So next line or one or two lines you can give gap and just give heading section second. In that next line give heading unit number 5, wave optics, and as usual write down these syllabus points. So as I have told you, there are two parts, diffraction and polarization. यामध्ये दोन पार्ट्स आहेत, एक आहे डिफ्रॅक्शन, दुसरा आहे पोलरायझेशन. तर हे सब पॉइंट्स तुम्ही लिहून घ्या आता. First is 5.1 diffraction. In that introduction, comma, resolving power. Introduction, comma, resolving power. Then next point, Rayleigh's criterion. Rayleigh's criterion. The next, theory of diffraction grating. Theory of diffraction grating. and its resolving power. Theory of diffraction grating and its resolving power. Next point, 5.2. Polarization, that is second part of this chapter. त्याच्यामधले points कुठले कुठले? First is concept, comma, second optic axis, concept, comma, optic axis, then Malus law, which is intensity square law, then positive and negative crystals, positive and negative crystals. Next is 5.3. In that, first point is optical activity, comma, specific rotation, optical activity, specific rotation. Then one important and big point, that is Lorentz half-shade polarimeter, Lorentz half-shade polarimeter, and numericals on this chapter. So everyone write these points, and after completion of that, we will discuss this. So everyone complete the points in the notes, just syllabus points we are writing. Afterwards, when we start discussing the chapters, then you have to write the notes in your notebook. So when you complete, tell me so that we can start discussing these things.
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay. So if you see the section second first chapter, its heading is wave optics. So diffraction and polarization we have studied earlier, but here introduction part or after that some points are familiar to you, and then some new points we have to discuss regarding diffraction and polarization. So I will start with one question, that what is meant by diffraction? Anybody?
Obstacle of an object. So changing of path of light because of obstacle.
Okay. Any other student? So you can explain in your style, no problem. If it is wrong, then also no problem. So you just try.
Spreading up of waves around an optic.
Okay. So what is meant by diffraction? So bending of light around the obstacles and spreading of light into the geometrical shadow region of an obstacle which is placed in the path of light is called as diffraction. So simply we can say bending of light. and that is nothing but diffraction. So in this diffraction, which points we have to cover? First, it's introduction, that we are discussing, definition, etc. Then resolving power, that is limit of resolution. Then Rayleigh's criteria, that is 3 conditions are there: just resolved, well resolved, and unresolved conditions. Then comes the next point, theory of diffraction grating. So we have to understand what is meant by this diffraction grating and how we can use this diffraction grating for some experiments, applications. And it's a resolving power, means we have to check the resolving power of diffraction grating. That is the last point. Then polarization. So we will discuss that afterwards. The diffraction म्हणजे काय? तर आता सांगितलं, bending of light around the corners, spreading of light into the geometrical shadow region, which is placed in the path of light. So you can see here different examples are there. So it depends upon the wide gap, narrow gap, we are getting the diffraction pattern. And this is third one, that is below, or bottom one is nothing but how light gets bent at the corner. Okay, bending of light around the corners of an obstacle. So here light gets bent. So these are some examples of diffraction. Then what is this? Everyone knows this one. Is it correct? Rayleigh's criteria.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this Rayleigh's criteria are nothing but considering the resolving power of that particular instrument. But what is meant by resolving power? So resolving power is nothing but ability of that instrument to separate the 2 images of that object which are very close to each other. Okay, for example, in the night, if you see the sky and you are observing bunch of stars, so up to our limit of resolution we can see it clearly. But instead of only eyes, if we use telescope with good resolving power and focus properly, then what we get, आपल्याला काय मिळतं तर क्लिअर विजन, आपल्याला तोच बंच ऑफ स्टार्स जो दिसत होता तर त्यामध्ये स्टार आपल्याला एकदम सेपरेट आणि चांगल्या पद्धतीने बघायला मिळतं. सो दॅट इज रिझॉल्विंग पॉवर ऑफ that telescope. Opposite to that, if we come to the microstate, that is microscope. So if we want to see the world of bacteria, then we cannot see through our eyes only, but if we use microscope and slide etc., if we adjust properly, then we can get the details of that micro world easily. So that is resolving power of microscope. So based upon that, we are defining this Rayleigh's criteria. आता Rayleigh's criteria म्हणजे नेमकं काय? तर Rayleigh's criteria म्हणजे ते पर्टिक्युलर जे इन्स्ट्रुमेंट आहे ते यूज करून आपण त्याच्या 2 इमेजेस आहेत तर त्या जस्ट सेपरेट बघू शकतो का, तर ती तिची रिझॉल्विंग पॉवर डिफाइन करते. मीन्स इथे जर तुम्ही बघितलं तर बी जो पॉइंट आहे मिडलचा त्याला आपण म्हणतो जस्ट रिझॉल्व्ड. म्हणजे काय, तर आपण त्या 2 इमेजेस आहेत त्या ऑब्जेक्टच्या तर तो त्या जस्ट सेपरेट आपण बघू शकतो, त्याला आपण म्हणतो जस्ट रिझॉल्व्ड कंडिशन. जर ते इमेजेस खूप चांगल्या पद्धतीने आपण सेपरेट बघू शकत असलो तर त्याला म्हणतो वेल रिझॉल्व्ड. मिनिमम कंडिशन काय असते तर जस्ट रिझॉल्व्ड, म्हणजे ऍटलिस्ट ते सेपरेट दिसावेत. त्याच्या पुढे जर गेलं तर त्याची रिझॉल्विंग पॉवर अजून चांगली. ठीक आहे. आणि थर्ड स्टेज काय तर अनरिझॉल्व्ड कंडिशन. अनरिझॉल्व्ड मीन्स व्हॉट? सो वी कॅनॉट सी द 2 इमेजेस ऑफ दॅट 2 ऑब्जेक्ट सेपरेटली. मीन्स इथे जर बघितलं तर रिझल्टंट याचा काय दिसतो, एकच दिसतो. Means we cannot differentiate that 2 objects in terms of images. So what exactly it means that we will discuss afterwards. Then comes diffraction grating. So you can see here on your right side, right figure, a glass plate is there simply, and that glass plate is nothing but called as diffraction grating. But what exactly it means? So answer is your left side figure. So if we see carefully, so we are scratching fine equidistant lines on this glass plate. Okay, and these fine equidistant lines acts as a slit here. Okay, how? So if two scratched lines are there, so this gap acts as a slit or transparent region. So when we are scratching the lines which are equidistant to each other, then we are getting n number of lines or n number of slits. And from that, if we pass the light, then here light gets diffracted. And we are getting diffraction pattern of that particular light. Getting this?
Yes, sir.
So if we go further, then this clears you. आता या फिगर मध्ये जर तुम्ही बघितलं तर इथे काय दिसतंय?
Separation of light.
Yes. Here, if we start from the source of light, this
White.
is a polychromatic source. That is white light source, which includes all the 7 colors with pure. So we are adjusting that light first through slit. Then we are passing this light through this diffraction grating. आता जे मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं यातल्या ज्या फाईन स्क्रॅच्ड लाईन्स आहेत त्यामधला जो गॅप आहे तो म्हणजे इथं स्लिट म्हणून ऍक्ट होतो आणि आपल्याला thousands of slits मिळतात. And if we pass that light further through this diffraction grating, then we can get diffraction pattern. आता इथे तुम्ही बघू शकता की सेंटरला काय येणार आहे? व्हाईट लाईटच येणार आहे. का? कारण का जी लाईट स्ट्रेट लाईन मध्ये येते ती आपण लेन्सने कलेक्ट करतो. वी आर गेटिंग व्हाईट लाईट as it is. And the diffracted portion gives us diffraction pattern that is called as spectrum from violet to red color. That is Vibgyor. Everyone knows the sequence. Vibgyor means what? Violet to red. Tana pihi ni paza zatana hi pani pe, whatever you know related to that. So here we have to study this diffraction grating. Diffraction grating म्हणजे काय? त्याची थिअरी आपल्याला बघायची. पहिल्यांदा काही इक्वेशन्स आपल्याला मिळतात. And then next is its resolving power. म्हणजे काय? मगाशी सांगितलं तसं की ते जे डिफ्रॅक्शन ग्रेटिंग आहे ते हा जो स्पेक्ट्रम आहे तर तो आपल्याला चांगल्या पद्धतीनं दिसू शकतो का त्याच्या रिझॉल्विंग पॉवरमुळे. काही सगळं मिक्स्ड दिसणार आणि आपण डिफरन्शिएट करू नाही शकणार. तर ते म्हणजे काय तर रिझॉल्विंग पॉवर ऑफ डिफ्रॅक्शन ग्रेटिंग. ओके, सो दीज आर दी पॉइंट्स रिलेटेड टू डिफ्रॅक्शन. Now, anyone tells me the definition of polarization? Means you have to define what is meant by unpolarized light and what is meant by plane polarized light. Can anyone define? In Marathi, in English, no problem. Unpolarized light म्हणजे काय असतं आणि plane polarized light म्हणजे काय असतं? Anyone is ready? Not a perfect definition or explanation, just what you have understood. Unpolarized light and plane polarized light. For a clue, I have shown you figure also. Are you getting the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have studied polarization, right?
Yes, sir.
That's why I am asking. Anyways, so you can see this second figure. So here you can get the unpolarized light symbol. So what is meant by unpolarized light? The vibration of light
Then
in all possible directions and which is propagating perpendicular to the direction of propagation is nothing but called as unpolarized light. Plane polarized light means the light which is having vibration only along a single plane which is perpendicular to the direction of propagation. So from these two figures you can get easily idea. This lower one is unpolarized light up to this point. When we pass it to crystal, then it becomes plane polarized light, and only one single plane you can see here, a red color arrow. Or here also upper one you can see that when we pass this unpolarized light through this first slit, then we can get plane polarized light. And if that slit is perpendicular to first one, then it gets stopped here. Okay, so this is unpolarized and plane polarized light. Further, we have to discuss what is meant by plane of vibration and plane of polarization. प्लेन ऑफ व्हायब्रेशन म्हणजे काय असतं आणि प्लेन ऑफ पोलरायझेशन त्याला परपेंडिक्युलर आहे. इथे तुम्ही हे सिम्बॉल बघू शकतात. आपण काय करतो तर अनपोलराइज्ड लाईटला कसं सिम्बॉलाइज करतो. वी आर शोइंग डिफरंट डायरेक्शन arrows like this. It is nothing but unpolarized light, or we can show in this style also, means arrow and dot, means parallel to plane of paper arrow, perpendicular to plane of paper dot. So mixed light is of course unpolarized light. Plane polarized light म्हणजे काय असणार आहे, फक्त एक सिंगल प्लेन आपल्याला दाखवायचं like this. You can show only parallel to plane of paper, or you can show only perpendicular to plane of paper, means dots. Getting this?
Yes, sir.
So next is this optical activity. So I will take 5 more minutes and then we will conclude. Optical activity means what? Optical activity म्हणजे काय, आताच आपण डिस्कस केलं की अनपोलराइज्ड लाईट काही क्रिस्टल्स मधून आपण पास केल्या तर आपल्याला प्लेन पोलराइज्ड लाईट मिळते. आणि ती प्लेन पोलराइज्ड लाईट जर आपण अशा काही मटेरियल्स मधून पास केली की ज्याच्यामध्ये ऑप्टिकल ऍक्टिव्हिटी ही प्रॉपर्टी असते. ऑप्टिकल ऍक्टिव्हिटी मीन्स व्हॉट? इट इज चेंजिंग द डायरेक्शन ऑफ प्लेन पोलराइज्ड लाईट. सिम्पली मीन्स व्हॉट? इथे तुम्ही बघू शकता की इथं हा एरो या डायरेक्शन मध्ये दाखवलाय. ओके, जेव्हा आपण या ट्यूब मधून त्याला पास करतो ज्याच्यामध्ये ऑप्टिकल ऍक्टिव्ह मटेरियल आहे, तर इथं काय होतं, या प्लेन ऑफ व्हायब्रेशनची डायरेक्शन येते ती चेंज झाली. आणि जेव्हा ती ट्यूब मधून बाहेर येते तेव्हा ती जी डायरेक्शन येते ती अशी दिसते. हे लक्षात येते का? ठीक आहे. सो हिअर प्लेन ऑफ व्हायब्रेशन ऑफ प्लेन पोलराइज्ड लाईट इज धिस, and after coming through that crystalline material it becomes different. Means here you can see this is the first plane of vibration, and after coming through that tube this is second plane of vibration. Why it happens? Because that particular solution which is having crystal are changing this plane of vibration of plane polarized light. Why this happens, that also we have to discuss. Maybe you can recall the two things, that is levorotatory and dextrorotatory substances. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
Levorotatory and dextrorotatory substances which are changing the plane of vibration of plane polarized light on left side and right side. So I hope that you may know. If not, then we will discuss that afterwards. Then the last point, that is Lorentz half shade polarimeter. So everyone knows Nichols prism, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so Nichols prism we are using here. You can see here two Nichols we are using, which acts as a polarizer and analyzer. So source, lens, we are collecting this light. From first Nichols we can get plane polarized light. We are passing it through one plate which is called as half shade plate. Then this tube is having optical active solution. It changes the direction of plane polarized light, and through second Nichols we are adjusting that thing and observing through the objective or telescope. So all these things are there in the Lorentz half shade polarimeter. त्याच्यासाठी आपल्याला काय काय माहिती पाहिजे? निकोल्स प्रिझम म्हणजे काय, हाफ शेड प्लेट म्हणजे जे पोलरायझेशनचे क्रिस्टल्स आहेत तर त्याच्या प्रॉपर्टीज, त्यानंतर ऑप्टिकल ऍक्टिव्ह मटेरियल जे आपण आता डिस्कस केलं, तर आणि सिम्बॉल्स प्लेन पोलराइज्ड लाईटची, अनपोलराइज्ड लाईटची. सो दॅट वी हॅव टू कन्सिडर these things, then we can understand it in better manner. So that last point we have to discuss when we understand all these things. So this is figure for Lorentz half shade polarimeter. Actually this Lorentz half shade polarimeter look like this. So this is telescope. Here we are keeping source, and in between we are keeping the solution. So next chapter we will start in next lecture. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we conclude here. Just take the attendance. Roll number 8, Mahitka. 11, 14, 16, 17, 19, 28, 30, 31, 32, 34, 35, 38, 41, 42, 43, 45, 53, 56, 60, 62, 63. Okay, so time is less, that's why I'm not taking orally, just I have note on these numbers. Okay. So next lecture we will continue with our 6th chapter. Okay, so we stop here.